One of the most vivid memories I got of the late 90s. 95.7 Jams in Birmingham. They started in 1996 and they became the Master P station for a couple of years back in the late 90s. Master P was all over that radio station. Rapper Master P and his entourage from No Limits Records, his record label, No Limits Records, No Limits, Silk the Shaka, and there was also Mystical off the. I mean, this was just the guy was just so huge back in the late 90s and he just faded out so fast. Master P was happening back in going back to 1997, 98, and 99. 95.7 Jams. They were all over him back in the day. Well, almost 20 years ago now. Master P, his real name Percy Robert Miller. He's dabbled in a lot of things. An author, a filmmaker, an actor, and a rapper. He changed his name to Master P. He formed No Limit Records. Probably around 1995, but it might have been a little bit later than that. And in 1997, he released his fifth album, and he came out with a single called, I believe it was called Mr. Ice Cream Man. And then he came out with Make 'em Say, that was his big breakthrough hit, 1997. That record went platinum, double platinum, sold over 2 million copies. I mean, this guy was on fire, Master P. And he was also in a hip hop band called True. I believe that was back in the mid 90s. And his second, well, it might have been his eighth album. I wrote down the name of his eighth album. It's called The Last Dawn. The Last Dawn. MP The Last Dawn. Oh my God, this thing it exploded. This album exploded. It went to number one on Billboard's top 200 album charts. At one point, the album was selling 400,000 copies a week. Now imagine that. And the chances are you might have forgotten all about Master P. Just this guy was just on fire. This guy was blazing. He was blazing some heat back in the day. 400,000 copies a week. This album, I believe that's how you pronounce it, The Last Dawn. Whole bunch of singles, not singles, well, a whole bunch of cuts on this album too. 4 million copies. Platinum. 4 times over, sold over 4 million copies. The hooks on this song was provided by a woman. I do believe I remember her. She was on another record by Master P. They used to play the heck out of on 95.7. I can hear the record in my head, but I can't remember the name of it. But the girl who was singing the hooks on the songs on that album was a woman named Alicia Corley from Mississippi. She went by the moniker MC Attitude, but she later turned on Master P and sued him for non-payment. 1999, he released his eighth album, Master P did, Only God Can Judge Me. And then basically he just kind of faded away a little bit in the early 2000s. You just had new rappers. New rappers are always coming and going. And by the late 90s, you had JC still rising in 1998, 1999. And of course, you had 50 cents just exploded. Late 2002, early 2003. But on this album, MP The Last Dawn, he did a song with Bones Thugs and Harmony, which did pretty well for him as well. Forbes magazine, this guy's loaded. He is one of the rich. If he's not the richest, well, he's probably not the richest person in hip hop, but he's up there. He's up in the stratosphere with JC. Forbes magazine had listed Master P. They listed him as being worth his net worth of $350 million as of 2013. Granted, that's not Donald Trump territory, but still, $350 million for a rapper, that's pretty damn good. Or for a rock star, really good. Well, the song I'm gonna play for you on my fancy playlist. Actually, I got a double-sided hit on my fancy playlist, but I only play one for you. Of course, I can only do one video at a time with the format that I got set up. At number 20, Master P, I Miss My Homies, name of the record. And I also got, this was really bad. This was a badass jam. I remember it just blasting in my ears, listening to this thing on 95.7 Jams back in 1998. It's called How You Do That. by it was Master P, but one of his people on his record label. I wrote down. I think it's Young Blood. I believe it's Young Blood was the name of that guy who did that record. I do recommend that if you like hip hop. Let me get the name of that dude real quick. Young Bleed. That's right, Young Bleed. Really bad. How you do that, Dad? I just I'm telling you, man, I just can't emphasize enough how 95.7 were all over Master P back in the day. But enough is enough. I gotta shut up. Number 20, Master P, I Miss My Homies, up from 21 the previous week. Fantasy Playlist, October 18th, 1997.